Hi, everybody. Lori from GLP-1 Journey and Review. Today, we're going to be talking about protein and how important it is for the GLP-1 user. Now, if you find any of this helpful or useful, please hit that like button and the subscribe button. Did you know that 50% of you aren't even subscribed? What are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button. You don't want to miss any of this content, and it does help me out too. So, let's get back to the topic. So if you're on a GLP-1 medication like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, or Zepbound, you have probably heard people say, eat more protein. But here's the big question. Why is protein so important when you're on these medications? And just as important, what are the best proteins and how much do you need to have? And how do you get it in when your appetite is so low? That's what we're breaking down today. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to protect your muscle, feel full, and get the best results from your GLP-1 journey. So, first things first, why is protein such a big deal? Well, the GLP-1 medications work by slowing down your digestion, reducing your appetite, and they change your relationship with food. And that's awesome for weight loss. But here's the catch. You're eating less. That means less protein unless you're intentionally trying to get it. Here's why that's the problem. Protein is a building block for muscle. If you're losing weight without getting enough protein, your body burns muscle along with that fat, and you don't want to lose muscle. Less muscle means slower metabolism, less strength, and a higher chance of you regaining the weight afterwards. Think of protein as your insurance policy while you're losing weight. It helps preserve muscle. It keeps you fuller longer, stabilizes your blood sugar, and speeds up your recovery if you're exercising. In fact, studies show that people on a GLP-1 medication who prioritize protein have better long-term results. So how much protein should you aim for? Here's a simple formula. Take your goal weight in pounds, aim for zero point 0.7 to a gram of protein per pound of your goal weight. So, for example, if your goal weight is 150, aim for 105 to 150 grams of protein per day. That may sound like a lot, especially with smaller appetites, but don't panic. We're going to talk about ways to make it easier to hit those numbers. Spread your protein throughout the day. Don't try to get it all in one meal. Your body can only handle so much protein at once. So, what are the sources of protein? There's three different categories. There's lean animal protein. These give you the most protein with the fewest calories. There's chicken breast or thighs. Skinless is better. Fish and seafood like salmon, cod, shrimp, and scallops. Eggs and egg whites. And they're easy to digest and they're very versatile. There's low-fat yogurt, Greek yogurt, and cottage cheese. They're high in protein and low in carbs. And there's lean beef. Try to get 90% lean or higher. They're excellent for maximizing protein without excess calories. And there's plant-based proteins. There's tofu, it's soft, and it's easy to season. There's lentils, which are great in soups and salads. There's beans and chickpeas. Combine them with a grain, and it's a complete protein. And there's quinoa, which is one of the few complete plant proteins. Plant proteins also add fiber, and we all know how helpful that is on a GLP-1 medication. And the third category is protein supplements. When your appetite is small, supplements could be your friend. Protein powders. There's whey protein, there's plantain protein, there's all different kinds. There's ready to make shakes. They're perfect if you're a little nauseated or you're just too busy, and they're pretty light and go down pretty easy. And collagen there's also collagen peptides. They're good for your skin and joints, but they're not a full protein. So use this alongside other types of protein. For many GLP-1 users, A shake or a smoothie is easy way to add 20 to 30 grams of protein without feeling overly full. So here's the challenge. You may know you need protein, but your appetite is small on the GLP-1 medication. So here's some top strategies. Start each meal with protein. Don't fill up on the carbs first. Protein should be first. There's liquid protein still counts, like smoothies and shakes, even protein packed soups, and they're pretty easy to get down. Try small and frequent meals. Instead of 3 large meals, try to have 4 to 5 smaller, protein-focused meals and snacks. Prep in advance. Have ready-to-eat options like hard-boiled eggs, sliced turkey, pre-cooked shrimp, and Greek yogurt cups. Pair some protein with some fat for some satisfaction, like chicken and avocado, Greek yogurt, and chia seeds. It helps you feel satisfied, and it's very nutritious. Now, what about the proteins you don't want to rely on? Processed deli meat, too much sodium and additives. Once in a while, they're okay, but try to stay away from them if you can. Protein bars with a lot of sugar and artificial junk. Just read the labels first. You want to get ones that are low in sugar. Fried protein sources like breaded fried chicken or breaded fried fish, they kind of defeat the purpose. And if you're going to have something like that, put them in an air fryer. It's a lot more healthy. So here's an example of high protein day on a GLP-1 medication. Breakfast, you can have something like a protein shake with some Fairlife milk and whey protein, and that's about 30 grams of protein. Good snack could be some yogurt and a handful of berries. There's another 20 grams of protein. Lunch, try some grilled chicken and some veggies. Another 35 grams of protein. A snack, you could have a hard boiled egg or a little turkey roll up. There's another 10 to 15 grams of protein. Dinner, how about some salmon with some quinoa and some broccoli? Another 35 grams of protein. That adds up to 135 grams of protein without any huge meals. So remember, protein is a secret weapon for us GLP-1 users. It protects your muscles, it speeds up your results, and it makes you feel amazing as the weight comes off. If there's one thing that you take away from today, it's be intentional with protein. Plan it, prioritize it, track it if you have to. Now, I want to hear from you. What is your favorite protein source right now? Are you team chicken, team protein shake, team Greek yogurt? Let me know in the comments. I'd really like to hear.